you're not an employee, you're a creator of moments for the guest. So I always think about that when I'm in an interview, because it's all about the guest. Whether you're in a restaurant or you're in a hotel or on a cruise ship, the competition is very, very high. So you gotta be brave. You gotta be a bit like a shark, being very nice and people-oriented, but you gotta be prepared for anything that comes.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Oysterlink's podcast. For starters, could you introduce yourself to our audience and share a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Victoria Varlan. I am originally from Romania. I'm 25 years old, and I'm currently living in New York City, doing an internship as a manager at Trump International Hotel and Tower.
Wow, that's amazing. So can you guide us, through your journey from Romania to New York?
I would say it all started when I decided to embrace this chance to study at a hotel school in the Netherlands. Actually, in Leeuwarden, it's called Stennon Hotel Management School in Leeuwarden. I was there as I'm currently an alumni. I graduated recently with a bachelor in international hospitality management. And my first internship with them on my fourth year was in Boston. So that's where I decided to change my path and go to United States. And after that, I received this chance to be in New York City. So it's almost 1 year since I've been here, and I'm very active in the hospitality industry, mostly in the operations. I'm a housekeeping manager, but I'm also overseeing other departments. And I am looking to hopefully extend my stay here or even try other destinations and hotels.
Amazing. So since you are a fresh graduate, how important was going to hospitality school? How much did you actually learn that you can now say you're doing the internship that, oh, this is something that we covered in school, or this is something that we didn't? So kind of like make a comparison between the formal education and the hands-on education.
Absolutely. One of the reasons why I chose to do a Dutch hotel school was that everything you learn, you apply afterwards. I've been in every department of what means to have a department, hotelier department, from restaurant, like fine dining, kitchen, catering, banqueting, human resources, events, everything. So in this way, I could discover what is my best fit and where I would like to continue. It was a very nice design-based education, I would say. The curriculum was very engaging. We did have practice and also the theory, but everything connected, especially the classes of financial management, account management, everything. So everything that I've learned from my hotel school, definitely all the dots are being connected right now. And that hotel school shaped me of who I am now, where I am now, and I'm always gonna be grateful for that. So therefore, I'm even I'm in a close touch with my mentors, with my teachers, and they are still giving me advice, because from them I learned literally from the best. Because where I am now, it's definitely because of my personality, because in a hotel setting depends how you are as a person. So your personality stands out definitely from all the people, because it's just how you connect with the people, how you engage, how you solve problems. That's what it leads you to go higher and higher where you want to be. So I definitely learned so much. And as I said, I'm a student ambassador still. I'm representing my school wherever I go. And even now in New York City at Trump Hotel. And to even emphasize this thing, a lot of students, a lot of my friends followed my path and decided to have the same steps that I did.
That sounds
So
quite exciting. If I can be
yes.
honest, it sounds like, oh my God. So good. You said that personality is key when it comes to the hospitality industry. And I love that you mentioned this. So when you wanted to get that internship, can you kind of like remember some of the questions they asked you, some of the tricky situations you had, like something that our audience could benefit from if they're looking to get their first internship?
Absolutely. It depends on the level of the company and their brand name, because as remarkable as name in terms of name and reputation, as harder the interview, I would say. So people for both companies, I've had 5 interviews, 4 and 5. So it was a very complex process and actually very challenging, but challenging in a good way, because it helps you to reflect on what you've done, your background, what you've learned, how did you grow in a professional and personal way. So, and it helps you to see how you can convey that to the employer, who the person who is actually looking to hire you. It's just very nice. What I like to say, as I've been in the industry for almost more than 5 years, you're not an employee, you're a creator of moments for the guest. So I always think about that when I'm in an interview, because it's all about the guest. Whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're in a hotel, or in a cruise ship, because the hospitality management is very complex and it has a lot of branches. So you have this endless chance opportunity to choose whatever it fits your personality in your heart. So one of the questions would be that there is a STAR interview. That is very important for all the professionals who would like and to try a very nice hotel, a very strong brand. For sure, they will have the STAR interview. It starts with how you present a scenario that you've been going through or an experience. What did you do? What was the outcome and the result? And the impact on you, on the guest, or anyone involved in the scene, in the experience. So that's a very important one. STAR. It's just how specific you can be with something that you have experienced, and how did you manage that, and what was the result. Another one would be strengths and weaknesses. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses that you can turn into strengths? I've come away along with this question many times. So how are you able to explain that and elaborate that to the employer, to the person who is interviewing you? And I would say also, what makes you special? You always have to have that answer and being able to. And I would say that the most important thing is to show your enthusiasm. That's what everybody's looking for, because it's such a difficult industry, and it's hard to work with people, to try to adapt to their personalities, to their behavior. So you have to have that people energy. You have to have patience with yourself, patience with the people you work with. So it's very important to see how your personality shines, even if the most difficult situations.
Wow, amazing. So I'm not going to ask you about your weaknesses because this is not an interview, but could you give us like an example?
I would say to be able to focus on something that is important, but not lose, try to give a certain attention to something that is important. Like you are doing a task, but someone comes to you and tells you something important. You got to stop for a bit what you're doing and listen to the other. So that's something that it's just when you say, oh, I'm a focused person, how that focus actually is, like how much percentage you put into one task. And then you are able to listen carefully to someone that is telling you something also important. So that comes to prioritizing the things. So that's something that it's very important to work on, but it comes with a lot of experience, a lot of things that you are uncomfortable with. So in this is how you actually improve by doing it. So that's something that's very, very important, because there's so many things that can as you know, in a hotel, so many things that can come at once. What is actually important? What can wait? But if one of the employers comes in, for example, I'm in housekeeping department, and then we have a small emergency with one of the guest rooms, and I'm working on the schedule, I can stop for a bit and listen to that person. So that's something that, it fluctuates, but it's important to find a balance.
Okay, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So you already mentioned the importance of your relationship with your teachers and the people that you have learned from. So what is your advice to get good mentors if you're a young person who's just starting out? Like, how would you approach someone in a hotel that you really admire and that you want to learn from and ask them to kind of like guide you and mentor you on your journey?
Absolutely. I would definitely say that is to show gratitude for what you wanna. If you know something about them, make sure you're genuine and you tell them something specific that I really admire how your leadership skills stand out, or something that you know about them and you would like to learn. Because when you don't learn, you don't grow. So it's very important. Even any leader in this industry is learning every day. So that's very true. And we make mistakes, and it's normal. So being very specific and very genuine. So you show that you really want to learn for them, and you really need their advice. Whenever I reach out to my mentors, I always say that I'm really happy to hear from you, and I hope you're doing well. And I'm sending warm greetings from New York City. And this is what I would like to know. And if you can advise me in your best way, and based on your experience and on your knowledge, it's just people have a lot of wisdom, people who've been in the industry, and they're also, I would say, older, but in terms of experience, not only age, they can get you the best advice.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you. That's very important because I can see that a lot of young people are having this dilemmas on, oh, how am I going to get my mentor? Everybody wants to get mentored by this person. It's very challenging. So let's say from a perspective of someone who's already seen all the departments, like which department did you prefer the most and why? And where do you see your career progression going from here?
I wish I stayed more in every department. It was like a short period to get a bigger picture, but also understand internally how the things are, how they are functioning. I've been the most in the operations, guest experience, housekeeping, and front desk. Housekeeping is indeed the bone of the whole operation. So once you understand that dynamic, everything comes easier. But that's the most challenging department as well. However, I would think that food and beverage is something that I would like to embrace next. In around, I would say 2 years, I'm trying. So what I advise every professional is to have a career mind map, at least 2 to 5 years. It's important to grow in a hotel, but not stay too long, because there's always something better out there, and every hotel is different. So it's important to have as much exposure as possible when you want to work for your long-term career goal. I found my biggest passion and dedication to the guest experience department, where I really connect with the guest, where I can elevate their experience, do something special, that wow effect. That's when your creativity comes and shines. So that's where I would love to stay on. I would love to be a director of guest experience in less than 5 years. So I'm working for that, building this, adding bricks to my tower when it comes to my future. So guest experience, department of guest relations, as everybody knows. And I would say I'm a person who likes to stay in front, to be in the spotlight. It's definitely the department. It also gets relations works in front and behind the scenes. So you create the magic behind every guest experience. And it's very complex. It comes in so many ways, and you have so many chances to wow the guests, to do something that you really want to. And as most of the prestigious hotels work with Forbes Travel Guide, Forbes has a way to say you have to find the golden nuggets. So, for example, if a guest likes M&Ms, you make sure they have that in their room daily. So it's something that you spot and you catch, and you make sure you make it even more special, so they don't forget and they will come back. So how it is, and definitely it's important to try. That's what a hotel school is so important, because it's just not only one department or only one topic. You go from financial management to statistics to revenue management. It covers everything, because whenever you encounter any department, you know what to do. But it comes with the real world learning, which is the experience and being actually in the hotel and work in the industry.
What has been the biggest challenge so far for you? Like the one that you had to really overcome and that you were struggling a bit, that our audience might also face?
I am indeed facing different guest complaints every day, and I am reaching out to the most difficult guests with no fear or anything, because I like to use my think outside of box tactic to see, first of all, to get to know them, and to try to catch something that I could change and turn around their experience. I do work with other departments, so as I'm in housekeeping or front desk, depends. I reach out to the guest relations management and to the team to see maybe I can do a nice amenity. We have so many things to play with, from nice curated amenities, from chocolates, from toys, from anything that depends on the guest profile. And I like writing handwriting cards. That's the most touching element that I could do. I really love writing cards, and I'm taking care of all the card members. So I'm writing all the cards, because it's just different. When you type it and then when you print it, it's not the same when you actually handwrite it and you put your name down. So they remember that. And even just acknowledging and hearing them, it means so much, so much. And sincerely apologizing to them, it makes the whole difference. Because the little gestures that you care, because there are so many guests in one hotel. So when you actually take your time and you want to take care of a guest that had a bad experience, it sets the tone for the whole stay. So doing these things, really nice chocolates, handwriting cards, maybe offering some tickets to a Broadway show, working with the concierge, something that first to see what's the purpose of their stay, and looking at their activities in terms of guest requests. And from there, you can see and find something that will impress them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I love that. So let's talk about crazy requests. Like in the, without the fear of disclosing something, so you don't have to name the hotel or the establishment. What was one of the craziest requests that you can remember coming in from a guest?
I would say there was sometimes where you have to work with a third company. For example, they wanted to rent an, how you say it, like a lounge chair in the room.
Mhm.
So that was a bit difficult for us, because we had to reach to a third company, and they delivered it very late, which led in the guest being upset. So things that we really have to go out of our way and go a bit above and beyond. And sometimes that can be a bit stressful.
That.
And they want it just like right now. And that cannot really be just like that. But we try our best to do it. Yeah. That thing. And then it was we had another guest coming in that room, and they were late in picking up that lounge chair. So it all led to a much more difficult situation.
So the guest comes and says, like, what is this lounge here? I like it.
Exactly. And they have a nice couch and all the nice, comfortable chairs, but they still want a special chair that works with the remote so you can lean on and you can watch a nice movie and relax. So,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So since you belong to Generation Z or Gen Z for short, how would you say is the perspective of your generation on the hospitality industry? Because I have been speaking with a lot of managers and like chef owners who constantly complain that the Gen Z doesn't want to work in hospitality. And then again, on the other hand, I'm meeting so many Gen Z people that are actually keen to build a career in hospitality. So what is your experience with that?
I am part of it. And I would say I have a slightly different mindset that I inherit from my parents and my sisters who are bigger than me. So I'm always advising myself with them. So I'm building a mindset also that I've been away from home, starting with the Netherlands, that gave me real wings to come to United States. So that was the startup, and being abroad, it builds a different way of thinking. So with Generation Z, I would say that it's a bit more laid back. It's definitely relies on technology and a lot of change on social media and showcasing everything we do and showing where we are, showing what we do, what we eat, everything, all the activities. Even in the hotels, we always have this, I would say, desire to show everything we do daily. And also having the curiosity what our guests are doing. Every time I try to see, because on the social media now you can see per location, and then you can see what the guests are sharing. So the word of mouth and the social media activities of certain influencers, certain people who come for a certain purpose, staying at a hotel, they really increase the brand image and everything. So that really matters. So a lot of it is a generation gap for sure. But it's just some people are indeed very, very keen on building a career, but some are super laid back, and I would say they don't prefer to work that much. Depends, because it's a diversity.
So what can employers do and hotels, restaurants to actually attract your generation to come in and work for them?
I would say that maybe the generations that I think they do want to be on the spotlight. So if there's something that will give them that chance, they will take it. Anything that will let them be themselves, also being acting on the social media, but some companies do restrict that, so it comes a bit difficult. So it's just, I think, being able to show who you are and have this freedom nowadays. Yeah, and also with the formalities, because this industry is very different than the others. So you have to respect some rules, some policies, some restrictions. It's but it comes with passion. Like if you really want to do that, if you really want to become someone that you like a role model for the others, you have to make some compromises.
Okay.
So yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Ana Victoria. So one last question. What would be the one thing you wish you knew about the industry before you started out?
Something that I did not expect, and you sense it once you are in, like you dig deep down, dive in this ocean, is the competitiveness level. The competition is very, very high. So you gotta be brave. You gotta be a bit like a shark, I would say, but being very nice and people oriented. But you gotta be prepared for anything that comes, and that will make you think skinned. So it makes you think skinned working with certain guests, certain staff members, leaders that push your limits and makes you so strong, because I admire all the leaders in this world who are running companies, who are CEOs, who are vice presidents, who are presidents. It comes with a lot of waves and a lot of changes. So I got to be prepared for that. And it sounds very generic. It's very competitive. It is very competitive. So if you really want to take this whole step for your career, you got to be prepared for it, for anything that comes, and stay positive, very positive, always with your smile. Keep your smile, keep your positivity, because that will make you stronger, and it will help you achieve. Even if you fail, if you don't fail, you won't succeed.